in Discord entry sound, so it's the Weezer riff. It did? No way. Oh my god. The stream hasn't even started and we're already cooked. I should end it all right now. It definitely picked up. Stream hasn't even started. This is so bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna turn that off now. Triceratops, it's so goated. Wait, guys, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm turning that off now. Fuck, how did I even put that on to begin with? Hold on. Man, I don't even know how I did that. Does anyone know what I'm doing? How do I fix that? I'm humiliated already. We haven't even started. Oh my gosh. This was a bad idea. This is probably worse than the karaoke stream already. Is it under soundboard? It is! Okay, I fixed it! Oh my god, everyone... Can everyone praise me right now? Okay. Let's pretend this never happened. I'm muting again. I'm almost done, okay? I'm almost done setting up. You know, the thing I should have done before pressing start stream. Okay, so full disclosure, my reactive PNG only works like half the time. So I'm done with it. I'm just using this customizable model I bought for my practice recordings. I don't even care anymore. Welcome to all the first time chatters, by the way. It took me way too long. Oh god, I'm washed. Goat's washed, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyways, oh man, I don't even have credits set up yet either. This is such a mess. I'm so sorry. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I think I have the link to it still. I do. Okay, hold on. I'll put it in chat. I'll set up the credits segment soon, okay? Just bear with me, okay? Okay. Here we go. Cool. We should be good. Okay. Allegedly ASMR. I've never done this before, so we'll see. Is the music too loud? Am I too loud? I don't know what I'm doing. I tried to get the balance decent and everything before I started, but I'm kind of a mess. I'm really shy. I'm also like super dyslexic, so this was probably a bad choice. Lower the music. Got you, got you. There we go. Is that any better? Sound good. Music could be lower. Okay. Is it too low? You'd think I'd know what I'm doing by now, considering how long I've been doing this. Yeesh. Ahem. You're gonna do great. I believe in you. Thank you. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh man, I'm still washed. I forgot that I have to have VTube Studio open. It's been a while since I've used this. Okay. Anyways. I don't know why I'm so embarrassed. I haven't even started reading yet. That's when it gets embarrassing, right? Anyways. This stream is probably gonna be on the short side, even by my standard. I woke up with a migraine today, so I've just kind of been getting like my skull kicked in all the time. It's been bad. It's okay though. So yeah, I might. This isn't supposed to be anything too extravagant, you know, but if everyone likes it, I might put this into my like regular content rotation. I've talked about it a little bit in the Discord server now, but I'm actually pretty bookish. I like to read a lot of classical novels and everything. I'm embarrassed. I don't. Reading is not like even embarrassing. It's just reading out loud that's hard. I'm already like so scared. I'm so sorry. We could always have you read cringe copy pastas to make you even more embarrassed. Do you guys want me to read Boy Smell? Joke's on you. I don't have a sense of shame. I can do it right now. Are you ready? Is that a boy I smell? Yes, I smell it. Boy smell. Oh man. Okay. We're just gonna read the fucking book. That's enough of that. Okay. So, we're gonna start our first reading stream with the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This has been on my list for a while, but I actually haven't gotten around to reading it until now. So, we'll see how I do. I guess we should just start, right? Not much to wait for. That's Master, it's not my fault I can't leave tweets in the litter box. You know, on second thought, maybe I should just cut my tongue off live on stream, like, you know, just take a fucking razor blade and go until it's gone. I don't deserve to speak ever again. I'm so sorry. This was supposed to be a comfy stream, and look at the bullshit we're already getting into. Man, can't have shit with me around. It would be less damaging for your career. What career? I have 22 followers. We're fine no matter what. It genuinely doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Are we ready? I'm just gonna start reading now, okay? The sooner I get on with it, the better. I gotta shut up, man. And then, like I mentioned, link to the model. It's a customizable one from like a few years ago. That's the pinned message right now. I've got to set up the credit page already. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. We're just gonna start reading. The studio was filled with the rich odor of roses. And when the light summer wind stirred amidst the trees of the garden, there came through an open door the heavy scent of the lilac, or the more delicate perfume of the pink flowering thorn. From the corner of the divan of Persian saddlebags on which he was lying, smoking, as was custom, innumerable cigarettes, Lord Henry Wotton could just catch the gleam of the honey-sweet and honey-colored blossoms of the laburnum, whose tremulous branches seemed hardly able to bear the burden of a beauty so flame-like as theirs. Now and then the fantastic shadows of birds in flight fitted across the long terose silk curtains that were stretched in front of the huge window, producing a kind of momentary Japanese effect, making him think of those pallid jade-faced painters of Tokyo, who, through the medium of an art that is necessarily immobile, seek to convey the sense of swiftness and motion. The sullen murmur of bees shouldering their way through the long unmown grass, or circling with monotonous incessance round the dusty gilt horns of the straggling woodbine, seemed to make the stillness more oppressive. The dim roar of London was like a burdened note of a distant organ. In the center of the room, clamped an upright easel, stood the full-length portrait of a young man of extraordinary personal beauty, and in front of it, some little distance away, was sitting the artist himself, Basil Hallward, whose sudden disappearance some years ago caused, at the time, such public incitement, and gave rise to many strange conjectures. As the painter looked gracious and calmly from... Oh, dyslexia. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, as the painter looked at the gracious and comely form he had so skillfully mirrored in his art, a smile of pleasure passed across his face, and seemed about to linger there. But he suddenly started up, closing his eyes, placing his fingers upon the lids, as though he sought to imprison within his brain some curious dream from which he feared he might awake. "It is your best work, Basil, the best thing you've ever done," said Lord Henry languidly. "You must certainly send it next year to the Grosvenor. The academy is too large and too vulgar. Whenever I had gone there, there had either been too many people that I would not have been able to see the pictures, which was dreadful, or so many pictures that I would not be able to see the people, which was worse. The Grosvenor is really the only place." "I don't think I should send it anywhere," he answered, tossing his head back in that odd way that used to make his friends laugh at him at Oxford. "No, I won't send it anywhere." Lord Henry elevated his eyebrows and looked at him in amazement through the thin blue wreaths of smoke that curled up in such fanciful whorls from his heavy opium-tainted cigarette. "Not sent anywhere, my dear fellow? Why? Have you any reason? What odd chaps you painters are. You'd do anything in the world to gain a reputation. As soon as you have one, you seem to want to throw it away. It's silly of you, for there's only one thing in the world that's worse than being talked about, and that's not being talked about. A portrait like this would set you far above the young men in England, and make the old men quite jealous, if old men are even capable of any emotion." "I know you will laugh at me," he replied, "but I really can't exhibit it. I've put too much of myself into it." Lord Henry stretched himself out on the divan and laughed. "Yes, I knew you would, but it's quite true all the same. Too much of yourself in it, upon my word, Basil. I didn't know you were so vain. And I really can't see any resemblance between you, with your rugged, strong face and your coal-black hair, and this young Adonis who looks as if he was made out of ivory and rose-leaves. Why, my dear Basil, he is a Narcissus, and you, well, of course, have an intellectual expression and all that. But beauty, real beauty, ends where intellectual expression begins. Intellect is in itself a mode of exaggeration, and destroys the harmony of any face. The moment one sits down to think, one becomes all nose or all forehead, or something horrid. Look at the successful men in any learned professions. How perfectly hideous they are, except of course in the church. But then again, in the church they don't think. A bishop keeps on saying at that age of 80 what he was told to say when he was a boy at 18. It's a natural consequence. He always looks absolutely delightful. Your mysterious young friend, whose name you've never told me, but whose picture really fascinates me, never thinks. I feel quite sure of that. He's some brainless, beautiful creature who should always be here in the winter when we have no flowers to look at, and always here in the summer when we want something to chill our intelligence. Don't flatter yourself, Basil. You are not in the least like him." "You don't understand me, Henry," answered the artist. "Of course I'm not like him. I know that perfectly well. Indeed, I should be sorry to look like him." "You shrug your shoulders? I'm telling you the truth. There's a fatality about all this physical and intellectual distinction. The sort of fatality that seems to dog through history and faltering steps of kings. It's better to not be different from one's fellows. The ugly and the stupid have the best of it in this world. They can sit in ease and gape at the play. If they know nothing of victory, they are at least spared the knowledge of defeat. They live quite as we all should live, undisturbed, indifferent, and without disquiet. We neither bring ruin upon others, nor ever receive it from alien hands. Your rank and wealth, Harry, my brains such as they are, my art, whatever it may be worth, Dorian Gray's good looks, we shall all suffer for what God has given us, suffer terribly." "Dorian Gray? Is that his name?" asked Lord Henry, walking across the studio toward Basil Hallward. "Yes, that is his name. I didn't intend to tell you." "But why not?" "Oh, I can't explain. When I like people immensely, I never tell their names to anyone. It's like surrendering a part of them." I have grown to love secrecy. It seems to be one of the things that can make modern life mysterious or marvelous to us. The commonest thing is delightful if one hides it. When I did leave town now, I never tell people of where I'm going. If I did, I would lose all my pleasure. It's a silly habit, I dare say, but somehow it seems to bring me a great deal of romance into life. I suppose you think me awfully foolish about it?" "Not at all," answered Lord Henry. "Not at all, my dear Basil. You seem to forget that I'm married, and one of the charms of marriage is that it makes a life of deception absolutely necessary for both parties." I never know where my wife is, and she never knows what I'm doing. When we meet, we do meet occasionally, when we dine together or go down to the Duke's. We tell each other the most absurd stories with the most serious faces. My wife is very good at it, much better, in fact, than I am. She never gets confused over her dates, and I always do, but when she does, find me out, she makes no row at all. Sometimes I wish she would, but she merely laughs at me. I hate the way you talk about your married life, Harry, said Basil Hallward, strolling towards the door that led to the garden. I believe that you really are a good husband, but you are thoroughly ashamed of your own virtues. You are an extraordinary fellow. You never say a moral thing, and you never do a wrong thing. Your cynicism is simply a pose. Being natural is simply a pose, and the most irritating pose I know, cried Lord Henry, laughing. The two young men went out to the garden together, ensconced themselves on a long bamboo seat, and then stood in the shade of a tall laurel bush. The sunlight slipped over the polished leaves. In the grass, white daisies were tumultuous. After a pause, Lord Henry pulled out his watch. I'm afraid I must be going, Basil, he murmured, and before I go, I insist on you answering the question I put out some time ago. What is that? Said the painter, keeping his eyes fixated on the ground. You know quite well. I do not, Harry. Well, I will tell you what it is. I want you to explain why you won't exhibit Dorian Gray's picture. I want the real reason. I told you the real reason. No, you did not. You said it was because there was too much of yourself in it. Now that is childish. Harry, said Basil Hallward, looking him straight in the face, every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not its sitter. The sitter is merely the accident, the occasion. It is not he who is revealed by the painter, it's rather the painter who on the colored canvas reveals himself. The reason I will not exhibit this picture is that I am afraid I have shown it in the secret of my own soul. Lord Henry laughed. And what is that? He asked. I will tell you, said Hallward, but an expression of perplexity came over his face. I am all expectation, Basil, continued his companion, glancing at him. Oh, there really is very little to tell, Harry, answered the painter, and I'm afraid that you will hardly understand it. Perhaps you'll hardly believe it. Lord Henry smiled and leaned down, plucking a pink-petaled daisy from the grass and examined it. I'm quite sure I shall understand it, he replied, gazing intently at the little golden white-feathered disc. And it is for believing things. I can believe anything, provided that it is quite incredible. The wind shook some blossoms from the trees, and the heavy lilac blooms with their clustering stars moved to and fro in the languid air. Grasshopper began to chirrup by the wall, and like a blue thread, a long, thin dragonfly floated past on its brown gauze wings. Lord Henry felt as if he could hear Basil Hallward's heart beating, and wondered what was coming. The story is simply this, said the painter, after some time. 2 months ago I went to a crush at Lady Brandon's. You know, we poor artists have to show ourselves in society from time to time, just to remind the public that we are not savages. With an evening coat and white tie, as you told me once, anybody, even a stockbroker, can gain a reputation for being civilized. Well, after I'd been in the room for about 10 minutes, talking to huge overdressed dowagers and tedious academia. What? I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen this word written before. That took me out, okay? I suddenly became conscious that someone was looking at me. I turned halfway around and saw Dorian Gray for the first time. When our eyes met, I felt that I was growing pale. No. Academicians. Academicians or something. I don't know. I've never seen this word before. I turned halfway around and saw Dorian Gray for the first time. When our eyes met, I felt that I was growing pale. A curious sensation of terror came over me. I knew that I had come face to face with someone whose mere personality was so fascinating that, if I allowed it to do so, it would absorb my whole nature, my whole soul, my very art itself. I did not want any external influence on my life. You know yourself, Harry, how independent I am by nature. I've always been my own master. Had at least been so till I met Dorian Gray. Then, but I don't know how to explain it to you, something seemed to tell me that I was on the verge of a terrible crisis in my life. I had a strange feeling that fate had in store for me quite exquisite joys and exquisite sorrows. I grew afraid and turned to quit the room. I don't think I've ever seen it phrased like that either, but at least I can read that one. You're doing great. Don't lie to me. It's like a career student. Yeah, but how do you pronounce that? Can you like write the pronunciation? I get you're new here, but like I'm super mentally delayed. You guys gotta be extra patient with me, okay? I grew afraid and turned to quit the room. It was not conscience that made me do so, it was a sort of cowardice. I take no credit to myself for trying to escape. Conscience and cowardice are really the same things, Basil. Conscience is the trade name of the firm, that is all. I don't believe that, Harry, and I don't believe you do either. However, whatever was my motive, and it may have been pride, for I used to be very proud, I certainly struggled to the door. There, of course, I stumbled against Lady Brandon. "You're not going to run away so soon, Mr. Hallward," she screamed out. You know, her curiously shrill voice. "Yes, she is a peacock and everything but beauty," said Lord Henry, pulling the daisy to bits with his long, nervous fingers. "I couldn't get rid of her. She brought me up to royalties and people with stars and garters and elderly ladies with gigantic tiaras and parrot noses. She spoke of me as her dearest friend. I had only met her once before, but she took it into her head to lionize me. I believe some picture of mine had made a great success at the time, at least had been chattered about in the penny newspapers, which is the 19th century standard of immortality. Suddenly I found myself face to face with the young man whose personality I had so strangely stirred me. We were quite close, almost touching. Our eyes met again. It was reckless of me, but I asked Lady Brandon to introduce me to him. Perhaps it was not so reckless after all, it was simply inevitable. We would have spoken to each other without any introduction, I'm sure of it. Dorian told me so afterwards. He, too, felt that we were destined to know each other. Academician? Okay, cool. So I did, like, almost have it right. Close enough. At least for me. I really don't care. You're doing great, don't worry. I'm still worried, but I'll try. Am I too loud? Is the music too loud? Is audio balance still okay? I do have, like, probably the loudest chair on earth, so this is, like, really bad. Every time I fidget, I can, like, see my OBS light up green, and I'm like, oh. Okay. Yay! And how did Lady Brandon describe this wonderful young man? Asked his companion. I know she goes in for giving rapid précis to all of her guests. I remember her bringing me up to a truculent and red-faced old gentleman covered all over with orders of ribbons, and hissing into my ear in a tragic whisper which must have been perfectly audible to everybody in the room the most astounding details. I simply fled. I like to find out about people for myself, but Lady Brandon treats her guests exactly as an auctioneer treats her goods. She either explains them entirely away, or tells one everything about them except for what they want to know. Poor Lady Brandon, you're hard on her, Harry, said Hallward listlessly. My dear fellow, she tried to found a salon, and only succeeded in opening a restaurant. How could I admire her? But tell me, what did she say about Mr. Dorian Gray? Oh, something like, charming boy, poor dear mother and I, absolutely inseparable. Quite forget what he does. Afraid he doesn't do anything. Ah, yes, plays the piano, or is it the violin? Dear Dorian Gray, neither of us could help but laugh, and we became friends at once. Laughter's not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is by far the best ending for one, said the young lord, plucking another daisy. Hallward shook his head. You don't understand what friendship is, Harry, he murmured, or what enmity is for the matter. You like everyone. That is to say, you're indifferent to everyone. How horribly unjust of you, cried Lord Henry, tilting his hat back and looking at the little cloud that raveled skeins of glossy white silk. You were drifting across the hollowed turquoise of the summer sky. Yes, horribly unjust of you. I make a great difference between people. I choose my friends for their good looks, my acquaintances for their good character, and my enemies for their good intellects. A man cannot be too careful in the choice of his enemies. I have not gotten one who is a fool. They're all men of some intellectual power, and consequently they all appreciate me. Is that very vain of me? I think it is rather vain. I should think it was, Harry, but according to your category, I must be merely an acquaintance. My dear old Basil, you are much more than an acquaintance, and much less than a friend. Sort of brother, I suppose? Oh, brothers. I don't care for brothers. My elder brother won't die, and my younger brothers seem to never do anything else. Harry, exclaimed Hallward, frowning. My dear fellow, I am not quite serious, but I can't help but detesting my relations. I suppose it comes from the fact that none of us can quite stand other people having the same faults as ourselves. I quite sympathize with the rage of the English democracy against what they call the vices of the upper orders. The masses feel that drunkenness, stupidity, and immorality should be their own special property, and if any of us makes an ass of himself, he's poaching their preserves. When poor Southwark going to the divorce court, their indignation was quite magnificent, and yet I don't suppose that 10% of the proletariat live correctly. I don't agree with a single word that you have said, and what is more, Harry, I feel sure that you don't either. Lord Henry stroked his pointed brown beard and tapped the toe of his patent leather boot with a tasseled outie cane. How English you are, Basil. That's the second time you've ever made that observation. If one puts forward an idea true to an Englishman, always a rash thing to do, he never dreams of considering whether the idea is right or wrong. The only thing he considers is any importance whether he believes it himself. Now, the value of an idea has nothing whatsoever to do with the sincerity of a man who expresses it. Indeed, the probabilities are all the more insincere the man is. The more purely intellectual will the idea be, as in the case it will not be colored by either his wants, his desires, or his prejudices. However, I don't propose to discuss politics, sociology, or metaphysics with you. I like persons better than principles, and I like persons with no principles better than everything else in the world. Tell me more about Mr. Dorian Gray. How often do you see him? Every day. I couldn't be happy if I didn't see him every day. He's absolutely necessary to me. How extraordinary. I thought you would never care for anything but your art. He's all my art to me now, said the painter gravely. I sometimes think, Harry, that there are two eras of any importance in the world's history. The first is the appearance of a new medium for art, and the second is an appearance for a new personality for art also. What was the invention of oil painting What the invention of oil paintings was to the Venetians, the face of Antonius was to the late Greek sculpture, and the face of Dorian Gray will some day be to me. It is not merely that I paint from him, draw from him, sketch for him. Of course I've done all that, but he is much more to me than a model or a sitter. I won't tell you that I'm dissatisfied with what I've done of him, or that his beauty is such that art cannot express it. There's nothing that art cannot express, and I know that to be true. But in some curious way, I wonder, will you understand me? His personality has suggested to me that an entirely new manner in art, an entirely new mode of style. I see things differently, I think of them differently. I can now recreate life in a way that was hidden from me before. A dream of form and days of thought. Who is to say that? I forget, but it is what Dorian Gray has been to me, the merely visible presence of this lad, for he seems to me little more than a lad, though he's really over 20, is merely visible presence. Ah, I wonder if you realize what all that means. Unconsciously, he defines me for the lines of a fresh school, a school that is to have it all in the passion of the romantic spirit, all in the perfection of the spirit that is Greek, the harmony of the soul and body. How much that is. We in our madness have separated the two, and have invented a realism that is vulgar, an ideality that is void. Harry, if you only knew what Dorian Gray is to me. You remember that landscape of mine, for which Agnew offered me such a huge price, but I would not part with? It's one of the best things I'd ever done. And why is it so? Because while I was painting it, Dorian Gray sat beside me. Some subtle influence passed from him to me, and for the first time in my life I saw the plain woodland, the wonder I had always looked for and always missed. Basil, this is extraordinary. I must see Dorian Gray. Howard got up from the seat and walked up and down the garden. After some time he'd come back. Harry, he said, Dorian Gray is to me simply a motif in art. You might see nothing in him. I see everything in him. He is never more present in my work than when no image of him is there. He's a suggestion, as I have said, of a new manner. I find him in the curves of certain lines, in the loveliness of subtleties of certain colors. That is all. Then why won't you exhibit his portrait? Asked Lord Henry. Because without intending it, I have put some expression of this curious artistic idolatry, of which I, of course, have never cared to speak to him. He knows nothing about it. He shall never know anything about it, but the world might guess it, and I will not bare my soul to their shallow prying eyes. My heart shall never be put under their microscope. There is too much of myself in the thing, Harry, too much of myself. Poets are not so scrupulous as you are. They know how useful passion is for publication. Nowadays, a broken heart will run many editions. I hate them for it, cried Hallward. An artist should create beautiful things, but should put nothing of his own life into them. We live in an age where men treat art as if it were meant to be a form of autobiography. We have lost the abstract sense of beauty. Some day I will show the world what it is, and for that reason the world shall never see my portrait of Dorian Gray. I think you are wrong, Basil, but I won't argue with you. It is only the intellectually lost who ever argue. Tell me, is Dorian Gray very fond of you? The painter considered for a few moments. He likes me, he answered after a pause. I know he likes me. Of course, I flatter him dreadfully. I find a strange pleasure in saying things to him that I know I shall be sorry for having said. As a rule, he is charming to me, and we sit in the studio and talk of 1,000 things. Now and then, however, he's horribly thoughtless and seems to take real delight in giving me pain. Then I feel, Harry, that I have given away my whole soul to someone who treats it as if it were a flower to put on his coat, a bit of a decoration to charm his vanity, an ornament for a summer's day. Days in summer, Basil, are apt to linger, murmured Lord Henry. Perhaps he will tire sooner than he will. It's a sad thing to think of it. There is no doubt that genius lasts longer than beauty, that accounts of the fact will take such pains to over-educate themselves. In the wild struggle for existence, we want to have something that endures, so we fill our minds with rubbish and facts, in the silly hope of keeping our place. The thoroughly well-informed man, that is the modern ideal. And the mind of the thoroughly well-informed man is a dreadful thing. It's like a bric-a-brac shop with monsters and dust, with everything priced above its proper value. I think you will tire first all the same. Some day you will look at your friend, and he will seem to you a little out of drawing, or you won't like his tone of color, or something. You will bitterly reproach him within your own heart, and seriously think that he has behaved very badly to you. The next time he calls you, you'll be perfectly cold and indifferent. It'll be a great pity, for it will alter you. What you have told me is quite a romance of art, one might call it. And the worst of having a romance of any kind is that it leaves one so unromantic. Harry, don't talk like that. As long as I live, the personality of Dorian Gray will dominate me. You can't feel what I feel. You change too often. Oh, dear Basil, that's exactly why I can feel it. Those who are faithful know only of the trivial side of love. It is the faithless that know of love's tragedies. Lord Henry struck a light in a dainty silver case and began to smoke a cigarette with the self-conscious and satisfied air, as if he had summed up the world in a single phrase. There was a rustle of chirruping sparrows in the green lacquer leaves of the ivy, and the blue cloud shadows chased themselves across the garden like swallows. How pleasant it was in the garden, and how delightful other people's emotions were. Much more delightful than their ideas, it seemed to him. One's own soul and the passion of one's friends, those were fascinating things in life. He pictured to himself with silent amusement and the tedious luncheon that he had missed by staying out so long with Basil Hallward. Had he gone to his aunt's, he would have been sure he would have met Lord Goodbody there, and the whole conversation would have been about feeding of the poor and necessities for the model lodging houses. Each class would have preached the importance of virtues. For those who exercised there was no necessity in their own lives. The rich would have spoken the value of thrift, and the idle grown eloquent over dignity of labor. It was charming to have escaped all that. He thought of his aunt. An idea seemed to strike him. He turned to Hallward and said, "My dear fellow, I have just remembered." "Remembered what, Harry?" "Where I heard the name Dorian Gray." "Where was it?" asked Hallward with a slight frown. "Don't look so angry, Basil. It was at my aunt, Lady Agatha's. She told me she'd discovered a wonderful young man who was going to help her in the East End, and that his name was Dorian Gray. I'm bound to state that she never told me he was good-looking. Women have no appreciation for good looks. At least good women have not. She said that he was very earnest and had a beautiful nature. I at once pictured to myself a creature with spectacles and lank hair, horribly freckled, and trampling about on huge feet. I wish I had known he was your friend." "I am very glad you didn't, Harry." "Why?" "I don't want you to meet him." "You don't want me to meet him?" "No." "Mr. Dorian Gray is in the studio, sir," said the butler, coming into the garden. "You must introduce me now," cried Lord Henry, laughing. The painter turned to his servant, who stood blinking in the sunlight. "Ask Mr. Gray to wait, Parker. I shall be there in a few moments." The man bowed and went up the walk. Then he looked at Lord Henry. "Dorian Gray is my dearest friend," he said. "He has a simple and beautiful nature. Your aunt is quite right in what she said of him. Don't spoil him. Don't try to influence him. Your influence would be bad. The world is wide and has many marvelous people in it. Don't take away from me the one person who gives to me my art whatever charm it possesses. My life as an artist depends on him. Mind, Harry, I trust you." He spoke very slowly, and the words seemed wrung out of him almost against his will. "What nonsense you talk," said Lord Henry, smiling and taking Hallward by the arm. He almost led him into the house. Okay. That's chapter 1. How are we feeling? I'm sure this is hardly enjoyable. My voice is so messed up today. I've been really congested. That's not even to mention the elephant in the room. The dyslexia. I can't read, bro. This is bad. I'm freaking blissful. No shot. Don't glaze. Not allowed. I feel like I have to get better at this. Hold on. I'm gonna mute really quick because this is about to be really bad. My chair's loud as fuck. I'm gonna stand up and stretch. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm not even being that mean to myself. That's just like kind of normal. But if you really think so, I guess I'll accept the compliment just this once. Thank you. Can't believe it's only 11 p.m. So early in the day. Well, I guess it's night though, right? Do we keep going? we're not even a full hour in. I'd feel guilty if I stopped so short, but I don't know. I'm kind of embarrassed. It's 1 a.m. for me. Oh man. Don't stay up too late. Oh man. I have to make my schedule soon too for next week. Hopefully I can stick to it a little better than I did this week. It was unexpectedly pretty busy. Don't be embarrassed. But it's so easy to be embarrassed. When I'm embarrassing. Begin walk-in. I think it'd be a lot easier to not be embarrassed if I could read. You can stop whenever you want to. I'm quite happy with this stream. Okay. If everyone's having fun, we can keep reading. But nobody's allowed to make fun of me, okay? Let me see. How long is chapter 2? Less than 20 pages. But then again, it took us like 40 minutes to read 16 pages because I'm so illiterate. No making fun. Let's go, hell yeah. Okay, we'll keep going, Okay. Ready for chapter 2? As they entered, they saw Dorian Gray. He was seated at the piano with his back to them, turning over the pages of a volume of Schulen's Forest Scenes. "You must lend me these, Basil," he cried. "I want to learn them. They are perfectly charming." "That entirely depends on how you sit today, Dorian." "Oh, I'm tired of sitting. I don't want to see a life-sized portrait of myself," answered the lad, swinging around on the music stool in a willful, petulant manner, when he caught sight of Lord Henry. A faint blush colored his cheeks for a moment, and then he started up. "I beg your pardon, Basil, but I didn't know you had anyone with you." "This is Lord Henry Wotton, Dorian, an old Oxford friend of mine. I have just been telling him what a capital sitter you were, and now you've spoiled everything." "You've not spoiled my pleasure in meeting you, Mr. Gray," said Lord Henry, stepping forward and extending a hand. "My aunt has often spoken about you. You're one of her favorites, and I'm afraid one of her victims also." "I am in Lady Agatha's black books at present," answered Dorian with a funny look of penitence. "I promised to go to a club in Whitechapel with her last Tuesday, and I really forgot all about it. We were to have played a duet together. 3 duets, I believe. I don't know what she'll say to me. I'm far too frightened to call." "Oh, I will make you peace with my aunt. She's quite devoted to you, and I don't think it really matters about you not being there. The audience probably thought it was a duet when Aunt Agatha sat down to the piano. She makes quite enough noise for 2 people." "That's very horrid to her, and not very nice to me," answered Dorian, laughing. Lord Henry looked at him. Yes, he was certainly wonderfully handsome. His finely curved scarlet lips and his frank blue eyes, his crisp golden hair, there was something about his face that made one trust him all at once. The candor of youth was there, as well as youth's passionate purity. One felt that he had kept himself unspotted from the world. No wonder Basil Howard worshipped him. "You are too charming to go in for philanthropy, Mr. Gray, far too charming," and Lord Henry flung himself down on the divan and opened a cigarette case. The painter had been busy mixing his colors and getting his brushes ready. He was looking worriedly when he heard Lord Henry's last remark. He glanced at him, hesitated for a moment, and then said, "Harry, I want to finish this picture today. Wouldn't you think it awfully rude of me if I asked you to go away?" Lord Henry smiled and looked at Dorian Gray. "Am I to go, Mr. Gray?" he asked. "Oh, please don't, Lord Henry. I see that Basil is in one of his sulky moods. and I can't bear him when he sulks. Besides, I want you to tell me why I should not go in for philanthropy. I don't know that I should tell you that, Mr. Gray. It is so tedious a subject that one would have to talk seriously about it, but I certainly shall not run away now that you've asked me to stop. You don't really mind, Basil, do you? You have often told me that you liked your sitters to have someone to chat to. Howard bit his lip. If Dorian wishes it, of course you must stay. Dorian's whims are laws to everybody except himself. Lord Henry took his hat and gloves off. You are very pressing, Basil, but I am afraid that I must go. I've promised to meet a man in the Orlands. Goodbye, Mr. Gray. Come and see me some afternoon in Curzon Street. I'm nearly always home at 5 o'clock. Write to me when you are coming. I should be sorry to miss you. Gnome Fox Raid. Oh my goodness. Hi, everyone. What the heck? Oh my god. I'm Beiwii. I'm currently using a temporary model. Credit is the pinned message because I am like brand new to Twitch. Thank you all so much. Wow, I'm like super shy. I've never done this before. Hi everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm currently reading The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Have a great time reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Reading ASMR is peak. This is my first time doing ASMR actually, so any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. I tried to get things set up pretty decently, but again, my first time. I'm brand new here. I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome into the ASMR community. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I saw that Kanashi already gave you a shout out. Okay. Cool, I think we're good then. Thank you so much. Wow! I'm so shy. Hiding behind the book like it's gonna save me. I'm so cooked. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a great stream. If you ever need help or have questions, you can always ask me. That is actually super duper appreciated. Oh my gosh. Actually my hero, for real. Thank you so much. Again, hiding behind the book like it's gonna save me. Oh my god, I need to lock in. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm so embarrassed right now. Oh my god, you're adorable. No! You're all too kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Commands might be bugged, low-key. I don't know if it went through. I can try real quick just in case. Hold on. I think I remember how to do this. I've only done it once before, and it was because Bree was in chat. I think it's like this, right? Did that work? It looks like it worked, okay. Yay! I'm not completely illiterate. I knew how to type shout out, guys. Great work. Thank you. Oh man, I'm so shy. Am I allowed to just keep reading? feel I feel like I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I didn't talk to you more than reading the book. Go ahead. Okay. Not doing yourself a disservice. Okay. I'm more worried about doing you and your audience a disservice, you know? Your stream, you can do whatever you want. Okay. What makes you happy and comfortable is important. You're a streamer. Yeah, but still... You went out of your way to bring your audience here, and I want you guys to have fun too. Okay. Oh man. Where did I leave off? Don't worry about it. The grin and blush won't go anywhere anytime soon. We'll have fun listening to you. Okay. Oh, you're so kind. I'm gonna put you in my pocket and gnaw on you like those Polly Pocket clothes. Did anyone else ever do that? We're simple creatures, we don't require much. Okay, in that case, I'll go ahead and keep reading. Thank you all for joining. It's so nice to have you here. Basil, cried Dorian Gray, if Lord Henry Wotton goes, I shall go too. You'll never open your lips while you're painting, and it is horribly dull standing upon a platform trying to look pleasant. Ask him to stay, I insist upon it. Stay, Henry, do oblige Dorian, and to oblige me, said Hallward, gazing intently at his picture. It's quite true, I never talk when I'm working, and I never listen either. It must be dreadfully tedious for my unfortunate sitters. Oh, I beg you to stay. But what about my man at the Orlands? The painter laughed. I don't think there will be any difficulty about that. Sit down again, Harry, and now, Dorian, get up on the platform, and don't move about too much, or pay any attention to what Lord Henry says. He is a very bad influence over all of his friends, with the single exception of myself. Blazing. Dyslexia strikes again. Do you guys think I could have possibly picked a worse idea for my first ASMR stream? The VTuber, the book. Real. Dorian Gray stepped up on the dais with the air of a young Greek martyr and made a little mow of discontent to Lord Henry, to whom he'd rather taken a fancy. He was so unlike Basil. They made a delightful contrast, and he had such a beautiful voice. After a few moments he said to him, Have you really had a bad influence, Lord Henry, as bad as Basil says? There's no such thing as a good influence, Mr. Gray. All influence is immoral. Immoral from the scientific point of view. Why? Because to influence a person is to give him one's own soul. He doesn't think his natural thoughts or burn with his natural passions. His virtues are not real to him. His sins, if there are such things as sins, are borrowed. He becomes an echo of someone else's music, an actor of part that has not been written for him. The aim of life is self-development, to realize one's nature perfectly. That is what each of us is here for. People are afraid of themselves nowadays. They've forgotten the highest of all of their duties. The duty is that one owes to oneself. Of course, they are charitable. They feed the hungry and clothe the beggar, but their own souls starve and are naked. Courage has gone out with the race. Perhaps we never really had it. The terror of society, which is the basis of morals, the terror of God, which is the secret of religion. These are the two things that govern us, and yet, just as you turn your head a little bit more to the right, Dorian, like a good boy, said the painter, deep in his work, conscious. Only that look had come over into the lad's face that he had never seen there before. Oh gosh. The music. I wanted to pick something cute and cozy, so I hope it's nice. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god. Freaky painter. Whoa. I'm too brain rotted for this. You and me both. I read that and I was like, oh, should I really be whispering that right now? Like, Live? For free? And yet, continued Lord Henry in his low musical voice, with that of a graceful wave of his hand that was always so characteristic of him, and he had even in his Eton days, I believe that if one man were to live out his life fully and completely, were to give form to every feeling, expression to every thought, reality to dream, I believe that the world would gain such a fresh impulse of joy that we would forget all of the maladies of medievalisms and return to the Hellenic ideal, to something finer, richer than the Hellenic ideal it may be, but the bravest man among us all is afraid of himself. The mutilation of the savage has its tragic survival in the self-denial that mars our lives. We are punished for our refusals. Every impulse that we strive to strangle broods in the mind and poisons us. The body sins once, and it has done with its sin, for action is a mode of purification. Nothing remains then but the recollection of a pleasure, of the luxury of a regret. The only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it. Resist it, and your soul grows sick with longing for the things that it has forbidden to itself. Oh my gosh. With desire for what monstrous laws may have made monstrous and unlawful. It's been said that the great events of the world would take place in the brain. It is in the brain, and the brain only, that the great sins of the world take place also. You, Mr. Gray, yourself, with your red rose youth and your rose-white boyhood, you have had passions that have made you afraid, thoughts that have filled you with terror, daydreams and sleeping dreams, whose mere memory might stain your cheek with shame. Stop, faltered Dorian Gray, stop, you bewilder me. I don't know what to say. There's some answer to you, but I cannot find it. Don't speak, let me think, or rather, let me try not to think. For nearly 10 minutes he stood there motionless, with parted lips and eyes strangely bright. He was dimly conscious that entire fresh influences were at work within him, yet they seemed to him to have really come from himself. The few words that Basil's friend had said to him, words spoken by chance, no doubt. I have to turn the page. A willful paradox in them had touched some secret chord that had never been touched before, but what he felt was now vibrating and throbbing to curious pulses. Vibrating and throbbing and good boy in like a 2-page span. That's crazy, bro. For free, that's my streamer. My sincerest apologies. Vibrating and throbbing is crazy word. That's what I'm saying. Again, should I really be doing all this for free? Is this allowed? Music had stirred within him, music that troubled him many times, but music was not articulate. It was not a new world, but rather another chaos that it created in us. Words, mere words, how terrible they were, how clear and vivid and cruel. One could not escape from them, and yet what a subtle magic there was in them. They seemed to be able to give a plastic form to formless things, and to have music of their own, as a sweet that of viol or of a lute. Mere words. Was there anything as real as words? Yes, there had been things in boyhood that he had not understood. He understood them now. Life suddenly became fiery color to him. It seemed to him that he had been walking in fire. Why had he not known it? With his subtle smile, Lord Henry watched him. He knew the precise psychological moment when to say nothing. He felt intensely interested. He was amazed at the sudden impression that his words had produced, and remembering a book that he had read when he was 16, a book which had revealed to him that he had not known before, he wondered whether Dorian Gray was passing through a similar experience. He had merely shot an arrow into the air. Had it hit the mark? How fascinating the lad was. Hallward painted away with that marvelous bold touch of his that had a true refinement and perfect delicacy that in art, at any rate, comes from strength. He was unconscious of the silence. "Basil, I'm tired of standing," cried Dorian Gray suddenly. "I must go out and sit in the garden. The air is stifling in here. My dear fellow, I am so sorry. When I'm painting, I can't think of anything else, but you've never sat better. You were perfectly still, and I caught the effect I wanted. The half-parted lips, the bright look in the eyes. I don't know what Henry has been saying to you, but I certainly made you the most wonderful expression. I suppose he's been paying you compliments. You mustn't believe a word he says. He has certainly not been paying me compliments. Perhaps that's the reason I don't believe anything he has told me. You know you believe it all, said Lord Henry, looking at him with his dreamy, languorous eyes. But go out into the garden with you. It's horribly hot in the studio. Basil, let us have something nice to drink. Something with strawberries in it. 27 followers. Oh my gosh, we did it. Thank you, everyone. Want to hear something funny? Okay, I'm all ears. Oh man, I've got to start sitting better. Oh my god, I feel so old right now because I've been hunched over. If anyone's curious, I have Mango Loco Monster right now. Metaphorical posture check redeem. Alas, my plot has been foiled once more. I'm fixing my posture. Thank you for you. I accidentally mistook this book for 50 Shades of Grey when I was younger. I read the thing wondering when they would mention the painting. Oh my gosh! You poor thing. Oh man. Well, I have a similar story, I guess, if you could call it similar. Um, when I was really young, I think I must have been like 7. Um, I went to a charity shop with my grandma, and there was this book, right? And I thought it was just called Mystery. So I was like, oh, cool, mystery novel. I always wanted to read one of those. So I bought it. Here's where the dyslexia kicks in. The book was Misery by Stephen King, and my mom wasn't super happy that I was reading that. I I with my full like 7-year-old brain, I was like, oh man, a mystery novel, isn't that cool? And it was only like $5, so I bought it. But yeah, my mom caught me reading it the other day, and not the other day. Oh my god, that implies I'm like 7. I'm an adult, bro. Trust. She caught me reading it like the next day, and she was like, "What the fuck are you reading, bae?" And I'm like, "Mystery," and she's like, "No." And I'm taking it away from you. Good, starting at a young age. Type shit. Type shit. You know, this might. How long have you been 7? I have not been 7 in over 10 years. Please, please. It was a misinput. It was a misinput. I'm so cooked. The other day. Oh, God. I'm so stupid. Misinput. Calm down. Literally. Literally. It was a misinput. Oh, man. She's unk. Trust, guys. This is true. This is true. I'm not like a hag, don't worry. I'm still pretty young, but I am unk, you know. Old enough to have to Google what 6'7" was when that was first going around, but also young enough to catch 6'7" when it was still like first going around. If that puts it into any amount of perspective for you. Certainly, Harry. Just touch the bell when Parker comes. I will tell him what you want. I've got to work up to this background, so I will join later on. Don't keep Dorian too long. I never have been better in better form for painting than I am today. This is going to be my masterpiece. It is my masterpiece as it stands. Still young and full of life. I wish I work full-time and pay taxes, guys. I've been doing this for too long. I don't know how many more years of full of life I've got in me. It's so over. It has never been more over. Lord Henry went out into the garden and found Dorian Gray burying his face in a cool lilac blossom, feverishly drinking their perfumes as if it had been wine. Lilac wine, Jeff Buckley reference. He came close to him and put a hand upon his shoulder. "You're quite right to do that," he murmured. "Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul." The lad stared back and startled and drew back. He was bareheaded, and the leaves had tossed his rebellious curls and tangled in their gilded threads. There was a look of fear in his eyes, such as people had when they are suddenly awakened. His finely chiseled nostrils quivered, and some hidden nerve shook in his scarlet of his lips and left them trembling. "Yes," continued Lord Henry, "that's one of the great secrets of life, to cure the soul by means of the senses, and the senses by means of the soul. You are a wonderful creation. You know more than you think you know, just as you know less than you want to know." Dorian Gray frowned and turned his head away. He could not help liking the tall, graceful young man who was standing by him. His romantic olive-colored face and worn expression interested him. There was something in his low, languid voice that was absolutely fascinating. His cool, white, flower-like hands even had a curious charm. They moved as he spoke, like music, and seemed to have a language of their own. But he felt afraid of him, and ashamed of being afraid. Why it had been left for a stranger to reveal himself. He had known Basil Hallward for months, but their friendship between them had never altered him. Suddenly there had been someone in his life who seemed to have disclosed to him life's mystery. And yet, what was there to be afraid of? He was not a schoolboy or a girl. It was absurd to be frightened. "Let's go and sit in the shade," said Lord Henry. "Parker has brought out the drinks, and if you stay any longer in this glare, you will be quite spoiled, and Basil will never paint you again. You really must not allow yourself to become sunburnt. It would be unbecoming." "What can it matter?" cried Dorian Gray, laughing as he sat down at the end of the garden. "It should matter everything to you, Mr. Gray." "Why?" "Because you have the most marvelous youth, and the youth is the one thing worth having." "I don't feel that, Lord Henry." "No, you don't feel it now, but someday, when you're old, wrinkled, and ugly, when the thought has seared into your forehead with its lines, and passion branded your lips with its hideous fires, you will feel it, and you will feel it terribly. Now, wherever you go, you charm the world. Will it always be so?" "You have a wonderfully beautiful face, Mr. Gray. Don't frown. You have, and beauty is a form of genius, is higher, indeed, than genius, as it needs no explanation. It is one of the great facts of the world, like sunlight or springtime, or the reflection of dark waters that silver shell we call the moon. It cannot be questioned. It has its divine right of sovereignty. It makes princes of those who have it. You smile? Ah, when you have lost it, you won't smile. People say sometimes that beauty is only superficial. That may be so, but at least it is not so superficial as it is thought. To me, beauty is the wonder of wonders. It is only shallow to people who do not judge by appearances. The true mystery of the world is visible, but not the invisible. Yes, Mr. Gray, the gods have been good to you. But what the gods give, they quickly take away. You have only a few years in which to really live, perfectly and fully. When your youth goes, your beauty will go with it. And then you will suddenly discover that there are no triumphs left for you. Or you'll have content in yourself with those triumphs that the memory of your past will make more bitter than defeats. Oh my gosh. I am not a competitive reader. I am so dyslexic. Honestly, I think that this was probably one of the worst ideas for my first ASMR stream. I've always just kind of read fast to kind of like, I guess, overcompensate for how many times I had to reread things as a kid. I'm struggling more than I let on. Just know that. And that should say a lot, because I think it's pretty obvious that I'm struggling too. You're doing great. I think you're only messing up because you're reading fast. Anybody would mess up like that. Am I allowed to read slower? It's like a really stupid question, my bad. Okay, I had to mute for a second because my chair is so loud. Oh my god. And I was readjusting the way I was sitting. I'll try reading slow. Let's see how that goes. Every month as it wanes brings you nearer to something dreadful. Time is jealous of you and wars against your lilies and your roses. You will become sallow and hollow-cheeked and dull-eyed. You will suffer horribly. Realize your youth while you have it. Don't squander the gold of your days listening to the tedious, trying to improve the hopeless failure, or giving away your life to the ignorant, the common, and the vulgar. These are sickly aims, the false ideals of our age. Live the wonderful life that is in you. Let nothing be lost upon you. Be always searching for new sensations. Be afraid of nothing. A new hedonism, that is what our century wants. You might be its visible symbol. With your personality, there is nothing you could not do. The world belongs to you for a season. The moment I met you, I saw that you were quite unconscious of what you really are, of what you really might be. There was so much in you that charmed me that I felt like I must tell you something about yourself. I thought how tragic it would be if it were wasted, for there is such little time that your youth will last. Such a little time, the common hill flowers wither, they blossom again. The laburnum will be yellow next June as it is now. In a month there will be purple stars on the clematis, and the year after, and year after year, the green night of its leaves will hold its purple stars. But we never get back our youth. The pulse of joy that beats in us at 20 becomes sluggish. Our limbs fail, our senses rot. We degenerate into hideous puppets haunted by the memory of passions which we were much too afraid of, and the exquisite temptations that we had not yet the courage to yield to. Youth, youth, there's absolutely nothing in the world but youth. Dorian Gray listened, open-eyed and wondering. The spray of the lilac fell from his hand upon the gravel. A furry bee came and buzzed around for a moment, and then began to scrabble all over the oval, stellated globe of the tiny blossoms. He watched it with that strange interest of trivial things that we try to develop when things of high importance make us afraid, or when we're stirred by some new emotion which we cannot find expression. Am I allowed to read slower? My dear child, it has been obligating you to read faster. The evil version of me in my head that's got me, like, you know, bent over and is whipping me. Read faster, read faster, read faster. Focus on finding your pace. Okay. I'm trying to read a little bit slower. I think I'm doing a little better. Maybe. I didn't think about how questionable that sounded until it was too late. Ignore that. You're doing wonderfully. Thank you. I'm trying. Okay. Or when some thought that terrifies us lays a sudden siege to the brain and calls on us to yield. After a time the bee flew away. He saw it creeping into the stained trumpet of a Tyrian Konovalovich. Considering I'm such a biology nerd, you really would think I would know how to pronounce scientific names better, but really, I don't have anyone to talk to about these things, so I never had to learn how to pronounce them. Anyways, trying is already half of the work. Oh, you flatter me. I'll keep trying really hard, though, until I get good enough to not have to whip myself into reading faster. The flowers seemed to quiver and then swayed gently to and fro. Suddenly, the painter appeared at the door of the studio and made staccato signs for them to come in. They turned to each other and smiled. "I'm waiting," he cried. "Do come in. The light is quite perfect, and you can bring your drinks." They rose up and sauntered down the walk together. Two green and white butterflies fluttered past them, and in the pear tree at the corner of the garden a thrush began to sing. "You are glad to have met me, Mr. Gray," said Lord Henry, looking at him. "Yes, I am glad now. I wonder, shall I always be glad?" "Always? That's a dreadful word. Makes me shudder when I hear it. Women are so fond of using it, they spoil every romance by trying to make it last forever. It's a meaningless word, too. The only difference between caprice and a lifelong passion is that the caprice lasts a little longer." As they entered the studio, Dorian Gray puts his hand upon Lord Henry's arm. "In that case, let our friendship be a caprice," he murmured, flushing his own boldness, and then stepped upon the platform and resumed his pose. Lord Henry flung himself into a large wicker armchair and then watched him. The sweep and dash of the brush on the canvas made the only sound that broke the stillness, except when, now and then, Howard stepped back to look at his work from a distance. In the slanting beams that streamed through the open doorway, the dust danced and was golden. The heavy scent of the roses seemed to brood over everything. After about a quarter of an hour, Howard stopped painting, looked for a long time at Dorian Gray, and then for a long time at the picture, biting the end of one of his huge brushes and frowning. "It is quite finished," he cried at last, and then stooping down, wrote his name in a long vermilion letter on the left-hand corner of the canvas. Baldness. Man. Would you guys still love me if I went bald, like, right now? Faye shaving her head live on stream. Yes! The no hesitation, the complete lack of hesitation is crazy, okay. Thank you. This is quite reassuring. Don't worry, nobody would ever find out if I went bald, because I don't really flesh post. Depends on how shiny your head is. What is the target level of shininess that I should aim for if I do theoretically shave my head? Do we want it to be really shiny, or do we want me to have like a matte dome of doom and despair? Oh man. Not me like feeling my hair to make sure it's still there. Very shiny, very shiny. Okay, I'll oil it every day, don't worry. I want to see my face in your head. Oh my god. I just got PTSD. Can I talk about this? Has to be SpongeBob spatula level of shiny. Okay. This just reminded me of a conversation I had like 3 or 4 years ago now. I don't really even remember the context of how the conversation started, but no, I have not seen my face on someone's head. I can't be quiet for this. P-game lock-in. I had a conversation a few years ago, like this was a long time ago. Again, I don't remember the context or how it started or anything, but somebody was trying to convince me that, like, Mr. Clean was sexy, and I was like, fuck you mean, bro? I don't want to see my face reflected in his glossy-ass dome. That's not hot. Also, he's 2D. What do you mean? I think I could find it if I really tried, because it showed up in like my on this day like 3 years ago Instagram thing. But he was like, they were basically convincing me that like Mr. Clean was fuckable, and I was like, First of all, he's a drawing. You literally physically cannot do that. But if that's what you're into, more power to you, I guess. But that's not physically possible. And also, I don't want to see my face reflected in someone's bald head. Bro has the physique, but he's not that hot. He's too, what? Not two. TWO. TWOD. Like two-dimensional. He's 2D. But yeah, that was something, you know? I'm surprised I even remembered that. It came to me like a fucking PTSD flashback. Oh man. Now I know how my grandpa felt after the war, right? That's bad. That's bad. I'm so stupid. Why? What? You're fine. I'm sure. But yeah. What's a 2D? Oh. It's okay to be a genius every now and then, you know. I'm somewhat of an intellectual myself. I'm very intelligent, if you couldn't tell by how fluent I can read. But yeah, that was... Oh, man. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, fuck. Where did I leave off in the book? Might be lacking some neurons. True. Me too, though, type shit. Honestly, better than what I heard. I don't think I can read that. That's so bad. I can't read that. I can't. It's okay. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Shocked me as I can. He's a flat picture. I don't think he can be deep at all. Am I incorrect in thinking? It's over for me, guys. I'm throwing myself into the sun. Let's maybe not do that. I think that's a bad idea. Where did I leave off in the book? Is it over? Do we give up? I'm tempted to throw in the towel for now. Oh man. Okay. Okay, I think I found it. Hold on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got like 7. Automod caught that, but it's okay, I allowed it. Okay. I'm gonna finish chapter 2 now, okay guys? Oh man. We're not reading anyone to sleep at this rate. Holy moly. Okay. Lord Henry came over and examined the picture. It was certainly wonderful. A wonderful likeness as well. My dear fellow, I congratulate you most warmly, he said. It is the finest portrait of modern times. Mr. Gray, come over and look at it yourself. The lad started as if awakened from some dream. Is it really finished? He murmured, stepping down from the platform. Quite finished, said the painter, and you've sat splendidly today, so I'm awfully obliged to you. That is entirely due to me, said Lord Henry, isn't it, Mr. Gray? Dorian made no answer, but passed listlessly in front of his picture and turned towards it. When he saw it, he drew back, and his cheeks flushed for a moment with pleasure. A look of joy came into his eyes as he had recognized himself for the first time. He stood there motionless and in wonder, dimly conscious that Hallward was speaking to him, but not catching the meaning of his words. The sense of his own beauty came on to him like a revelation. He had never felt it before. Basil Hallward's compliments had seemed to him merely the charming exaggeration of friendship. He had listened to them, laughed at them, and forgotten them. They had not influenced his nature. Then had come Lord Henry Wotton with his strange panegyric on youth and a terrible warning of its brevity that had stirred him at the time, and now, as he stood gazing at the shadow of his own loveliness, the full reality of the description flashed across him. Yes, there would be a day when this face would be wrinkled and wizen, his eyes dim and colorless, the grace of his figure broken and deformed. The scarlet would pass from his lips, and the gold steal from his hair. The life that was his to make, the soul that would mar his body, he would become dreadful, hideous, and uncouth. As he thought it, the sharp pang of pain stuck through him like a knife, and made each delicate fiber of his nature quiver. His eyes deepened into an amethyst, and across them came a mist of tears. He felt a hand of ice had been laid upon his heart. We're almost there, don't give up. We won't give up. We're almost there, you're so true. so right, correct. Truth nuke. Okay. Don't you like it? Cried Hallward at last, stung a little by the lad's silence, not understanding what it had meant. Of course he likes it, said Lord Henry. Who wouldn't like it? It is one of the greatest things in modern art. I will give you anything you would like for... wait. I will give you anything you'd like to ask for it. I must have it. It is not my property, Harry. Whose property is it? Dorian's, of course, answered the painter. He's a very lucky fellow. How sad it is, murmured Dorian Gray, with his eyes still fixed upon his own portrait. How sad it is that I shall grow old and horrible and dreadful, but this picture will remain always young, and will never be older than that particular day of June. If it were only the other way, if it were I who was always young, and the picture that grew old, for that I would give everything. Yes, there's nothing in this whole world that I would not give. I would give my soul for that. You could hardly care for such an arrangement, Basil, cried Lord Henry, laughing. It would rather hard lines on your work. I should object very strongly, Harry, said Hallward. Dorian Gray turned and looked at him. I believe you would, Basil. You like your art better than your friends, and no more than your green bronze figure. Hardly as much, I dare say. The painter stared in amazement. It was so unlike Dorian to speak like that. What had happened? He seemed quite angry. His face was flushed and his cheeks were burning. Yes, he continued, I am less to you than your ivory Hermes or your silver fawn. You will like them always. How long will you like me? Till I have my first wrinkle, I suppose. I know now that whether one loses their good looks, whatever they may be, one loses everything. Your picture has taught me that. Lord Henry Wotton is perfectly right. Youth is the only thing worth having. When I find that I am growing old, I shall kill myself. Type shit. You know, that was like my 5-year plan for a while before I got my life together, for the most part. Oh man, all the reels in chat. Is it getting too real though? Chat, never kill yourself. What if I stream again this year? Wouldn't that be crazy? Just like I'll never kill myself, because what if you guys would be sad if I didn't stream again? Duh. There's only one type of person, literally. Okay, wait. Where was that? I lost where I was. Where is that? Gotta keep living for the Bay streams for real. I would low-key be sad if I found out a streamer I watched did that. Right? I would be sad if I found out that somebody who watched my streams did that too, so everyone has to stay alive, okay? Okay, wait. Okay, I found it. Howard turned pale and caught his hand. Dorian, Dorian, he cried. Don't talk like that. I have never had such a friend as you, and I shall never have another. We're not jealous of material things, are you? You, who are finer than any of them? I'm jealous of everything whose beauty does not die. I am jealous of the portrait you have painted of me. Why should it keep what I must lose? Every moment that passes takes something away from me and gives something to it. Oh, if it were only the other way, if the picture could change, if I could always be what I am now. Why did you paint it? It will mock me someday. It'll mock me horribly. The hot tears welled in his eyes. He tore his hand away, flinging himself onto the divan. He buried his face in the cushions, as though he was praying. This is your doing, Harry, said the painter bitterly. Lord Henry shrugged his shoulders. It is the real Dorian Gray, that's all. It is not. If it is not, then what do I have to do with it? You should have gone away when I asked you, he muttered. I stayed when you asked me, was Lord Henry's answer. Harry, I can't quarrel with my two best friends at once, but between you both, you have made me hate the finest piece of work I've ever done, and I will destroy it. What is it but a canvas and color? I will not let it come across our 3 lives and mar them. Dorian Gray lifted his gold head from the pillow, and with a pallid face and tear-stained eyes, looked at him as he walked over to the deal painting table, and that was sat beneath the high curtained window. What was he doing there? His fingers were straying out among the litter of tin tubes and dry brushes, seeking for something. Yes, it was for the long palette knife with its thin blade of lithe steel. He had found it at last. He was going to rip up the canvas. With a stifled sob, he leaped off the couch and rushed over to Hallward, tore the knife out of his hand, and flung it over to the opposite end of the studio. Don't, Basil, don't, he cried. It would be murder. I'm glad you appreciate my work at last, Dorian, said the painter coldly when he had recovered from his surprise. I never thought you would. VTubers are the thing that keeps me going. They're the whole reason I'm studying what I am in my career. Okay, but you can't just, dump that and not tell us what you're studying. At least a hint. That's crazy. How... I'm so curious now. That sounds really unique. Me personally, my career is pretty boring. Well, now we need to know. That's what I'm saying. My career is pretty boring in comparison. Man, that sounds fucking awesome though. mm. I'm a graphic designer focusing on conceptual character design. Oh wow, that's awesome. Hell yeah. That is so cool. Oh, hold on, I have to stretch again. I have got to fix my posture, permanently. How do I make it not do that? The scrimp thing? Ahem. Oh man. I'm getting so drowsy. This is such a bummer. Okay. I'm gonna end stream once we get to the end of the chapter. I'm gonna go to bed. I wanted the stream. I want to stream in the future with a VTuber myself. I want to learn to do 2D and 3D models, rigging, the whole deal. I haven't done it in a long time, but before my rebrand, I used to do all of my own model illustrations and rigging. Oof. My model mama has been working very hard and it's turning out super cute. I can't wait to finally debut my actual model instead of the customizable one. I won't lie, you can really do VTubing with just about anything. I was telling Bree, one of my mods, about this the other day, but I do all of my streams on like a 6-year-old, yeah, like gaming laptop. My profile picture is my character. My designer is Lady Nemurin, and then my model art is currently being done by Chirara, but she just changed her username. Hold on, let me find her new username. Hold on. Okay, here we go. There is my character designer, and let me get my model artist too. Oh my god, my phone is tweaking out. Can we not do this? Okay. Let me find it. Oh, what does it have coming out of their mouth? Would you be upset if I said it was centipede legs? Puppy girl on the outside, bug girl on the inside. It's such a fun surprise, isn't it? Okay. Let me see. Oh, hell yeah. Oh my fucking god. It's such a dope concept. I'm so glad that people like it because, this was not part of the design when I bought it, but, I'm very much a bug autist, okay? I love a bug. #1 bug fan on Earth. That's probably debatable, but I'm definitely one of them, okay? So I was like, okay, I want to incorporate this into some aspect of my new design and everything. So that's what I came up with. Sorry for like my model zoning out. I still use my phone for tracking. Old habit from when I used to always have a live 2D instead of my reactive PNG. But yeah, I had to get the links. So, Coven of Nemu, that's Nemurin, Nemu Mama. She's my character designer. And then Yapawitan, that is my model illustrator. I have an idea for who I'm gonna get rigging from, but my model art isn't done yet, so I haven't really decided 110% yet, but I'm thinking, and I have a few ideas. I'm all for anything that's uncanny or horror related. I love anything that'd make you feel that uneasiness. Oh man. I I think you found the perfect streamer for you, because that's exactly the vibe I'm going for. I don't want to be like, I'm not going for like an overt horror concept, but almost something like more slow burn, like psychological horror in a way. Like that slow unease that creeps up on you when you know there's something that's not wrong, but you just can't put your finger on what. And there's something that's just ever so slightly out of place. Junji Ito. I do really like his work, but I haven't read any of it in a long time. I have a few on my manga shelf back at my mom's house. I have Venus in the Blind Spot. I have Gil, and of course I have Tomie. Mm. But yeah, I'm trying to aim for like a you know something's wrong, you just can't prove it until it's too late concept. If that makes sense. I'm so locked in for more baby content in the future. Thank you for sticking along with me. I know the preparations have been admittedly pretty slow. However, I won't lie, we're actually really far ahead of schedule. My original estimate for when I'd be able to fully debut was 2027. We might be able to get there by like Q3 of this year. It depends. I've been toying with the same feeling in some of my writings. Fully serious. If you would ever be interested in writing a script for me, like ASMR stuff, please, 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 please let me know. So far, I'm not doing my own script writing. I've only commissioned one, and I haven't recorded anything for it yet. I've done a few practice runs, but yeah, I'm trying to work on being more soft-spoken, I guess. I'm trying not to make it too obvious, but I'm really loud. I am so, so annoying most of the time. I'm an amateur author trying to write my own novels. Hell yeah, that is so cool. Honestly, I think the furthest extent of my writing was like fan fiction when I was in middle school and high school. Alright, we're almost done with the chapter. Are you guys ready? Don't worry, part of streaming is having fun yourself. Absolutely true. I mean, like I mentioned a little bit very briefly, this is actually like my rebrand. I'm not super new to streaming, but I designed my last character when I was like 16, and I wanted a fresh start, you know? A lot went down in like the tail end of that persona's life, so I was just like honestly pretty eager to detach and move on with myself and my streaming. Okay, ready? Ready? Appreciate it. I'm in love with it, Basil. It's a part of myself. I feel that. Well, as soon as you are dry, you shall be varnished and framed and sent home, and then you can do what you like with yourself. And he walked across the room and rang a bell for tea. We'll have tea, of course, Dorian. And so will you, Harry? Or do you object to such simple pleasures? Were you famous? No. No. I've been indie the whole time. Mhm. I will say I did pop off very briefly on YouTube though. I popped off very briefly. I was streaming Five Nights at Freddy's and I had like 40 concurrent viewers, and that was like a lot for me considering I only streamed like once a month at the time. So I was like very much losing my shit. No cheers. No cheers. No cheers. Oh hell yeah, the FNAF era. I was actually just replaying it like early last year. Like maybe Q2. I don't know if that's actually the correct time frame. I kind of don't have the best memory. Can I still ask the would you rather? Go ahead, go ahead. I'm open to most questions, but I have stream flashbacks. I was actually considering playing Five Nights at Freddy's again, but I'm putting off Hollow Knight and Five Nights at Freddy's because I want to do stuff that feels like, you know, more novel to me. Would you rather a crowbar or $10 in your local currency? Well, $10 isn't a lot. I mean, if I wanted $10, I could do like 10 minutes of overtime at work. That's probably not an accurate number, but like $10 isn't a lot. And I could probably sell a crowbar for more than $10. So I would say crowbar. Okay, no, I'm curious though. Why do you ask? It's Thursday at 6:35 p.m. What you getting? Mexican or Chinese? I think it depends on the day. I like both, but I do have a slight preference for Chinese food. Um, you know, I'm lying. It's not slight. I have a pretty strong preference for Chinese food. Um, I just took some of my loved ones to my secret Chinese restaurant that I've been going to for a few years, and everyone thought it was really cool. Everyone liked it a lot, so I'd be putting people on the hole in the wall spots, you know, like my little niche restaurants. Good answer. Just my first time on Twitch and just stream hopping, just trying to sense the vibes. You're cool and I'll follow. Oh, thank you so much. I'm flattered that on your first time on Twitch, out of all of the people on here, you picked me to watch too. Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. Can't even buy a crowbar with $10. Wait, low-key, is that real? Hold on. Oh my god. These the first one that showed up when I googled crowbar prices. Do I dare say $67? It's okay though. The second one is $23.99 and then the third one is $22.48. But yeah. The first one is $67. Birthday crowbar is so fucking awesome. Oh my god. If I could find a crowbar, I would take it home too. I would name it Fitzgerald and it would be my son. I'd crochet him little outfits and I would take him on walks. And by that I mean drag him on the concrete and he'll be loud as fuck and it'll drive all of the neighbors insane. And they'll come outside and hit me over the head with their crowbars. Chinese is always the right option. I love Chinese food. Oh man. Are you able to enable cheers? I don't think so. Cause is cheers the bits thing? I'm really new to Twitch myself, so I'm definitely not the person to ask how to do this sort of thing. Okay, so we just hit the follower requirement for affiliate today. Um, so yeah, I might be able to like next stream or like within the next like week or so, but yeah. We had all of the other requirements down pat. We were good on all that. But I had like 19 followers when I started stream today. So it's a bit of a crazy growth to happen from reading a book really badly. I'll be waiting. Oh, thank you, but you don't have to. No, 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 no. I'd feel bad. I've got to get more entertaining first and then I'll allow it, okay? I want to donate. Oh, are you sure? Okay. Bye. My goat will be affiliate soon. I'm just surprised by how fast it was. I mean, like, people told me that I was kind of, like, stupid for picking YouTube to start streaming under my old persona. Affiliate is basically, like, monetization. Like, if you're affiliate, that's when people can, like, do bits and, I think, subscribers and stuff. I'm not. I told you you'd pop off. This is true. Bro called it. This is crazy work. Listen, little lady, here's the thing. Pulls out Ben Grimm, aka the Thing from the Fantastic Four. The Thing? Like the guy made out of rocks? Is I don't... Guys, I'm gonna be so honest. I've never seen a Fantastic Four movie. The only superhero stuff I know is Into the Spider-Verse. And then what's the Spider-Man movie that came out in I think like 2008-ish, where there was like a black Spider-Man suit and the red Spider-Man suit. And I think they were like kind of ops, but I don't really remember. I watched that when it came out in like '08, but also I wasn't even in elementary school yet, so I don't remember shit. They reduced the number of followers needed for the Philly before it was like 50. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Spider-Man's black. No, they had like there was a who is buying stuff on Throne right now, guys? No. Stop! No! You guys, don't spoil me too much. Come on. I'm getting all shy. PK lock-in. They have the black Spider-Man suit and the regular Spider-Man suit. I don't remember if like the guy in the black Spider-Man suit was black or if it was just another Spider-Man or what. Hold on. I think it was like Spider-Man 2 or something, or 3. 2008 is my guess. I don't ever sound cute. You're lying. You're making shit up. That's not cool at all. Shh. Glazing is not allowed. No glazing zone. I didn't visit Throne or anything. I don't know what you're talking about. The Venom suit, that's probably it. Yeah, that makes more sense, you know. Yeah. What the hell is Venom, by the way? I don't know Spider-Man stuff, so what is he? Is he just like some like fucking evil guy that takes you over? I mean, any guy can take you over if you're pathetic enough, right? He's an alien symbiote, okay, but like, what does that do? A symbiote from space, yeah, but like, what is a symbiote? I'm the biggest glazer you'll find on this platform. Compliments are free after all. Fine, if you insist. I'll let it slide, just don't get carried away. Okay. They reacts to all of the Spider-Man movies. Can we get them all like condensed into a bunch of like YouTube shorts and I'll watch those all then I can say I watched Spider-Man through YouTube shorts, and I think that's better than watching Spider-Man as a movie, right? Why did I gain a follower? This is like incomprehensible stream of nightmares and destruction and despair. Why, guys? I'll glaze you so much, donuts are gonna get jealous. That sounds wrong for all the wrong reasons. I heard nothing. I pretend I don't see it. Hey, do you guys remember when this stream was about reading? Do you guys remember when this was about a book? I didn't mean it like that, allegedly. Do you guys remember when this stream was about a book? A book that we're so close to finishing chapter 2, 2 hours into the stream. Please remember to hydrate, everyone. Very true, very true, very true. Do I have water in here? Oh, I do. Wait, hold on. I'm so smart. Hold on. I have to mute for a second because my chair is so loud. Okay, we made it. We didn't break anything either. Okay, I have some water. I'm so far away from the camera. I'm also taking this time to like stretch too. You guys should do that if you haven't in a while. What are we reading again? 50 Shades of Grey? You know what? I'll make a promise. Don't make me regret this promise, guys, okay? If we ever hit partner, I will read 50 Shades of Grey. It might have to be on like a Twitter space instead though. I don't know if that'd like, you know, abide by Twitch TOS. I've never been banned on anything, like not even on Roblox, so I'd rather not like start, you know? Okay. When I hit partner, I'll read 50 Shades of Grey. Fun fact, the fall of the Twin Towers caused the creation of 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, because the fall of the Twin Towers inspired Twilight, right? And Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey is a Twilight fanfiction. In other news, did you know that My Chemical Romance, the band, would have never formed if it weren't for 9/11? I think that's like pretty common knowledge, but you never know. Maybe someone out there didn't know that. If you're learning 9/11 facts from me, I apologize. Okay, we're almost done with chapter 2. Peak game, lock in. Peak game, lock in. Peak game, lock in. Okay. I adore simple pleasures, said Lord Henry. They're the last refuge of the complex, but I don't like scenes, except those on stage. What absurd fellows you are, both of you. I wonder who it was defined man as a rational animal. It was the most premature definition ever given. Man is many things, but he is not rational. I am glad he's not, after all, though I wish you chaps would not squabble over the picture. You had much better to let me have it. Basil, this silly boy doesn't really want it, and I really do. If you let anyone have it other than me, Basil, I shall never forgive you, cried Dorian Gray. And I don't allow people to call me a silly boy. You know the picture is yours, Dorian. I gave it to you before it existed. And you know... and you know you've been a little silly, Mr. Gray, and that you don't really object to being reminded that you are extremely young. I should have objected very strongly this morning, Lord Henry. Ah, this morning. You've lived since then. There came a knock at the door, and the butler entered with a laden tea tray and set it upon a small Japanese table. There was a rattle of cups and saucers, the hissing of a fluted Georgian urn. 2 globe-shaped china dishes were brought in by a page. Dorian Gray went over and poured out the tea. The 2 men sauntered languidly over to the table and examined what was under the covers. Let us go to the theater tonight, said Lord Henry. There's sure to be something on somewhere. I've promised to dine at White's, but it's only with an old friend, so I can send him a wire to say that I am ill or I'm prevented from coming in consequence of a subsequent engagement. I think that would be a rather nice excuse. It would have all of the surprise of candor. Dorian Gray being called a silly baka. It's not like I like you or anything, baka. Get it through that thick skull of yours. Born to do F4A tsundere ASMR POVs in like 2012, forced to be in elementary school in 2012. Okay. It's such a bore putting on one's dress clothes, muttered Hallward. And then when one has them, they are so horrid. Yes, answered Lord Henry dreamily, the costume of the 19th century is detestable. It is so somber, so depressing. Sin is the only real color element left in modern life. You really must not say things like that before Dorian, Harry. Before which Dorian? The one who's pouring out tea for us, or the one in the picture? Before either. I should like to come to the theatre with you, Lord Henry, said the lad. Then you shall come. And you will come too, Basil, won't you? I can't, really. I would sooner not. I have a lot of work to do. Well, then, you and I will go alone, Mr. Gray. I should like that awfully. The painter bit his lip and walked over, cup in hand, to the picture. I shall stay with the real Dorian, he said sadly. Is it the real Dorian? Cried the original of the portrait, strolling across to him. Am I really like that? Yes, you are like that. How wonderful, Basil. At least you are like it in appearance, but it will never alter, sighed Hallward. That is something. We're not in elementary school anymore, you know. I know. I'm Unk now. Old and washed. I'm the oldest of all of my siblings, so I really might become an uncle someday. Well, I guess I can't be an uncle if I'm a girl, right? I guess an auntie. Oh, that's so... I can't imagine that. Man, I'd be a really fucked up auntie to have, don't you think? My brother's kid pulling up to career day, but my brothers are all washed, so they have to bring their VTuber auntie. Oh god. Auntie status. I'm not that old, right? I'm still lively and youthful. VTuber auntie. Is it too late for me to end my shit, twin? I got the unk status. Real, me too. Where did I leave off? Hold on. Oh. Okay, there we go. What a fuss people make about fidelity, exclaimed Lord Henry. Why even... Love is purely a question for physiological. It has nothing to do with our own will. Young men want to be faithful and are not. Old men want to be faithless and cannot. That is all one can say. Don't go to the theatre tonight, Dorian, said Hallward. Stop and dine with me. I can't, Basil. Why? Because I promised Lord Henry Wotton to go with him. He won't like you the better if you keep your promise. He always breaks his own. I beg you not to go. Dorian Gray laughed and shook his head. I entreat you. I'm not even that old. Me neither, but, like, I'm so chud-pilled that I might as well be. Ugh. So over for me. The lad hesitated and looked over at Lord Henry, who was watching them from the tea-table with an amused smile. I must go, Basil, he answered. Very well, said Hallward, and he went out and laid his own cup on the tray. It's rather late. And as you have to dress, you better not lose time. Goodbye, Harry. Goodbye, Dorian. Come and see me soon. Come tomorrow. Certainly. You won't forget? No, of course not, cried Dorian. And Harry? Yes, Basil. Remember what I asked you when you were in the garden this morning? I have forgotten it. I trust you. I wish I could trust myself, said Lord Henry, laughing. Come, Mr. Gray, my hansom is outside, and if I can drop you off at your own place. Goodbye, Basil. It has been a most interesting afternoon. As the door closed behind them, the painter flung himself down on the sofa, and a look of pain came onto his face. Okay. We did it! Over 2 hours into the stream, and we managed to get through 2 chapters of a book. Wow, guys. Is that even a little bit impressive? Oh man. I'm so bad at reading. Thank you guys for sticking through it though. What did we think? Did everyone have fun? 2 hours of amazing Bay reading. It was not that good. I tried though. I tried. You can call me anything but a quitter, okay? Started rushing around the end again. You think so? I was trying to read slower, you know. I had fun. Okay, I'm glad. I'm not super good at reading, but I thought it'd be fun to try out. I asked about it in the Discord server if anyone would be interested in this, and everyone voted yes. So I was like, okay, well, I don't feel like playing a game, so I'm just gonna do it because I haven't streamed this week, and I have to get at least something out, you know? I had a wonderful time. I'm glad. I think you got too excited, not necessarily rushing. Okay. Because again, I was trying to read more intentionally, more like, I guess, like, slower and deliberately, but I don't know. I think I'm trying to match the pace that I read in my head. And I read really fast in my head, so reading out loud is super hard because it's like my tongue tying knots around itself while I'm trying to match pace with myself. It's I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but yeah. I'm glad everyone seemed to have had fun though. I had a lot of fun too. Um if you guys want, I can do this again next week. mm, I mean, we're like not even a fourth of the way done with the book, so we could keep going with this, but I have a bunch of other ones too if you guys would rather read something else. I don't know. I'm open to anything. Yes, I mean, that'd be cool. Okay. We can try another one next week. We'll continue testing the waters. I think we'll aim for Friday night for this. I think we're gonna go back to our main, like, visual novel sort of deal for most of next week. Mostly because I bought a bunch of new visual novels for stream and I didn't stream any of them like I just told myself I would. Last year I joined a literature club on my university. Reading in public is something we study a lot. Paces, tones, rhythms, it's a whole art itself. You know, I couldn't stay in college very long because I had to start working, but one of the only classes I did decent in was public speaking. I know a lot of people really don't like it, and I think as a class, like, subject, it's like, you know, mediocre, it's whatever. But I don't think that public speaking is very hard. I think you just have to, like, be delusional. Be like, oh yeah, everyone's here to listen to me. That's because I'm the best ever, and I'm a genius. And it'll come naturally, trust. I'm also down for it. Anything to hear your voice again. Oh, shucks. Don't flatter me too much. Come on. It'll be a different story when I play another horror game and I'm screaming like god, like a really silly zoo animal. And everyone's like, oh goodness, what did I sign up for? But yeah. Thank you all for joining. Oh man, that was like the first time I've ever gotten rated or anything, so it still feels a little unreal, you know? um, let's see. Depending on how tomorrow goes, we might have time to stream, but don't get your hopes too high. We might be able to do Sunday too, but Sunday's not normally on my schedule, so I would say probably not. I used to do that, but unfortunately I had to get out. I started getting too passionate about speeches. Felt like I was turning into a certain man with a funny mustache. Goodness. I don't know why my command didn't work. So, let me show you how I did it. I did like slash like this. I don't know if I don't know how Twitch works, low-key, so I was like, this worked last time, I think. I don't really remember, so I'll just try it again, and if it doesn't work, then okay. I usually do exclamation mark SO then username. I don't have any like bots set up, so I wonder if that might be like a bot related like shortcut command or something. If you have stream elements or nightbot, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't have anything set up. Oh my god. I've been Bay for a month and don't even have like my credits page done. You guys, you have to start like hitting me. I deserve it at this point. I need a big old fat crowbar to the cranium, okay? We'll name him Fitzgerald, like I said. / shout out and then username. Okay. So I was right, okay. If I can't stream tomorrow, I'll see if I can at least set up some like bots or whatever, and maybe I'll finally get to my credits page that I've been putting off since we started. Wow. Can you guys believe that I have someone like me who can't remember to like, you know, do anything at all, hit all of the requirements for affiliate, and I haven't even debuted? This doesn't feel right, does it? Thank you again, by the way. This is, it feels so surreal, you know? I'm so, you know? I mod for 2 other streamers, so if you ever need help figuring stuff out, I don't mind helping. Thank you! Thank you! I will likely take you up on that offer, because I don't know anything. Missy, Mama raised me to never hit a lady. I only hit on them. Based. Nuh-uh, thank you for being here. Your streams are always lovely. I try really hard. I try really hard. I'm getting all shy again. A bit rusty on modding, it's been a while. At least you know how to do it, okay? I was in Bree's test stream earlier and she was like, how do I make you a mod? And I was like, girl, I don't know. I don't even remember how I gave my mods mod. Huh? Yeah, I've been getting up to some real genius activities lately. I'm a true intellectual, you know? I'm stretching again. I don't talk about it too much, I don't think, but for the uninitiated, the new Wee-Wees, if you will. Oh yeah, I probably should have said that sooner, but the fan name is Wee-Wee, by the way. For the new Wee-Wees around here, I have like some mild chronic pain bullshit or whatever. Like it's not a big deal, but I try not to complain too much, but sometimes it slips through. But yeah, it's spelled like this. Maybe. I caught it too late, didn't I? Yeah, you're here right as we're ending, but it's okay. I can go on if you want. This chair's so loud. Do you hear this? I can't even like move my arm without that fucking noise. But yeah, you didn't miss out on too much. Just like with me being illiterate and kind of like generally brain dead. But yeah, Weewees rise up. True, 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 true. Weewee Nation, for real. Weewee Nation, #1 nation in the world. Chunky Chief is playing Fear. You gotta let me know how that goes. I've never heard anything about it. I live under a rock when it comes to like video games and stuff. You said it so nonchalantly, like I ache and I pain or something. I mean, cause like that kind of just is it, you know? I try not to like, again, I try not to complain too much because that kind of just like ruins the atmosphere, doesn't it? I mean, it's no fun if everyone's all depressed because I'm like, guys, I need so much pain, you know? Like, what good does that do? It doesn't make me feel better, and it makes the stream a worse experience for you guys. So, like, what is the point? If I stay happy, it makes it easier for me to keep my mind off of it, and it helps keep you guys entertained too. It's a win-win situation if I just, like, ignore it as best as I can. Certified Wee Classic. Truth Nuke. Truth Nuke. So real. Based. Hello. Oh my god, if you were bald, you'd be Mr. World Wee Wide. Where we weed. We weed. Probably not good. Doesn't even work with controller, and I don't even have a mouse and keyboard. Oh man. As someone who deals with chronic pain, you are not lying. See, I mean, other people might have different experiences, so I understand if like venting helps them. And again, just because I try not to do it doesn't mean that I don't have to do it every now and then too, you know? I'll still vent every now and then. But I try to keep streams as positive as I can because there's a time and a place, and if I'm not feeling good, then I'm not gonna be streaming. It's that shrimple, you know? Take this with a grain of salt because I technically do not have a diagnosis yet. I was supposed to go get a diagnosis when I was like 17, but the basic lore, um it's been speculated for a while that I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos. So that's like a connective tissue disorder. That means you got like a, weaker connective tissue, so you're more prone to like injuries, pain in general, and it's a genetic condition. So I was supposed to go get genetic testing when I was 17, but they didn't have, well, they have genetic testing for it in my state, but the wait list is several years. It's like 3 years to get tested. So they were like, well, the only way we could get you in is if you can go out of state for it. Well, considering I was 17, going to college and flipping burgers on the side to afford going to college because my dad stopped paying my tuition because I had bad grades, I could not manage it, so I never went and got the testing done. I still don't technically know for sure, but all of the symptoms do check out, so Again, it's not like I for sure have it, but that's like the leading theory. Other people have also suggested things like fibromyalgia and like arthritis, and sure, it could be anything. I have no fucking clue. All I know is big youch. Whenever I feel not so good, I look up shitty SpongeBob popsicles, try to figure out if you're feeling. Try it too if you're not feeling too boggers sometime, girly pop. Oh my god. Like the ones with the gumball eyes that are like never placed right. Okay, I got you. I'm catching the drift. I see the vision. Mm, yes, I see the vision. I understand. I get it. You speak my language. Yes, English. Get into it. Okay. I have had a headache all day, and I'm super tired. So, I'm gonna go ahead and end stream now. Ah, it went by so fast. I don't want to, but I know I should. Just wondering, what's your next stream scheduled? Um, Probably Tuesday, but there's a non-zero chance that I can stream tomorrow or the day after. Can't guarantee it yet, and I don't stream on Mondays, so we'll see though. Thank you for streaming, you're amazing. Oh, shucks. No, you guys are amazing. Beiwii Nation, the best nation, for real. Approximate time? I start at around the same time every day. I started really early today, actually, but I usually aim for, 11 p.m. Pacific time slash 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know? Like that range. If you're not in US time zones, I could try to convert it for you, but I don't know them all off the dome. It'd be best to just look it up, I think. Great stream today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Get some good rest, little missy. Thank you, I'll try. It was really nice meeting you today. I'm glad I tuned in Twitch tonight. In Canada. Okay. So, I think the time zones in Canada are the same as in the United States, right? I don't know. I'll look it up just in case. Um, 2 a.m. in Ontario time. I hope that's more useful. So yeah, that's usually when I start, but I might be able to start earlier and I might be able to start later too. All I know is that's pretty damn late in Texas. That's I think 1 a.m. in Texas. It's 2:50 a.m. right now. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Guys, if I don't press end stream now, I'm never gonna do it. A lot of you are new here, so you guys are now going to be learning, but I'm very bad at ending the stream. One thing about me is I will drag on a stream for like an hour longer than necessary by like yapping. Bye y'all, bye. Thank you for joining. It was very nice to meet you. Have a lovely night. I hope everyone has a nice night. I'll be back tomorrow if I can, but if not, you can look forward to me on Tuesday, okay? Stop falling asleep. Okay, fine. I have no complaints about the streams continuing. Good night. Thank you. Okay, guys. I'm willing myself to press the button now. Thank you all for joining me. I had a lot of fun, even though I'm bad at rating. I hope you guys had fun too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Okay, I'm gonna do it for real now. Okay. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.